Mew VMAX. I am very excited about this one. Now, I'm not sure if you folks have seen that this product is coming out, but there is a League Battle deck, just like the Calyrex boxes that just came out, and those were the strongest League Battle decks that had come out in the Sword and Shield era so far, at least in my time. I know Pokemon released like an Arceus, Dialga, Palkia deck at one point, so I'm not sure if that like crossed into the Sword and Shield like when it was first starting, but for the strictly Sword and Shield era, the Calyrex Ice Rider is probably the stronger one, and then they just released the Shadow Rider one maybe like a month or two ago, and then you got this one coming out right now, which is better than those. So this is by far the strongest League Battle deck to come out in the Sword and Shield only era. However, it is not optimized. It's actually very far from optimized, but luckily you came here today. Watch Alex Anthony, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this deck from fun, something you can just play with your friends, to something that's actually really dangerous that you could take to any tournament and potentially win the thing. And I mean that, any tournament. So let's just give a quick overview of what cards are actually in the deck here. You can click on the back of the box here, and you can see we have a list of 2 Mew VMAX, 2 Mew V, 2 Genesect, 3 Meloetta, 2 Deoxys, 1 Oricorio, 4 Battle VIP, 4 Boss's Orders, 3 Choice Belt, 4 Chromatic, 4 Lesser Sparkle, 2 Escape Rope, 4 Fog Crystal, 2 Old Cemetery, 4 Power Tablet, 2 Switch, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Double Turbo Energy, 4 Fusion Strike, and 4 Psychic Energy. And I actually put this into my PTCGO client so that we can take a better look at it, make it a little bit more easy with the visuals, and then I'm going to show you all how we can, improve this deck. So the biggest weakness about this deck can be fixed very easily. Buy 2 of these. If you're serious about this deck and if you're serious about making this an actual good deck, buy 2 of these. And here's why. It just doesn't come with enough V Pokemon. And I get it, they include 6 V Pokemon. You get 2 Genesect, 2 Mew V, and 2 Mew VMAX in this box. And that's crazy. That's like actually really good. But you're gonna need more than that. I know. This is a very heavy V Pokemon deck where some decks are, mainly single prizers, some decks are mainly multi-prizers, and this is mainly a multi-prize deck. So the main reason why I say get 2 is because you're going to need 2 more Genesect for sure. You're going to need 2 more Mew V for sure. You're going to need 1 more Mew VMAX. Usually, like I recommend playing 1 more Mew VMAX, running what we call a 4-3 line when you do 4 of the basic and then 3 of the evolution. So I like to run a 4-3 line. A lot of people run 4-3. Some people run 4-2 and they've had success with it. Do what you please, but if you're going to run that extra Mew VMAX, then it's better to just buy the 2. And this is at the time of this recording as well, because once this product comes out and it's been in circulation for a while, the singles may go down in price of the V cards, because now with this product there will be so many more out there. So maybe you can actually get them for a decent price in singles, but this product will also itself go down in price too at times. Sometimes things like this just stay on the shelves and it goes from $30 down to $20 or $22 or what have you. So just keep an eye on things, and if you want to adjust the deck in a future instance, just go with whatever prices are cheapest at the time, but just check everything. The second biggest issue that this deck has is it plays a lot of cards that were, I would say, relevant to its particular metagame when the deck first came out. Now, a lot of things got tested at first, which were, successful, but it's because the deck itself is very powerful. So they're not exactly optimized. So we're going to be taking out a lot of the things that aren't optimized. We're going to be adding in some Vs, and then I'm going to show you how to make this deck just awesome. And I do just want to say, before we start editing the deck, that you can take some of these older cards that I'm going to take out and put them back in if you perhaps, theory craft a little bit and decide to, just want to test some things. So just because we're taking something out doesn't mean that it has to stay out. It's just not what the current world's best players are doing. So I'm just showing you that today. So if we're going to be playing this deck at any capacity for, it to be serious, Deoxys got to go. Sorry, Deoxys. 2 Deoxys got to go. Also Meloetta. We like Meloetta, but 3 is too many. Now, Oricorio is a card that you can go either way with, and there's going to be a lot of those in what I'm doing right here. Just because I'm doing something right now doesn't mean it's the only way to play the deck. There's a lot of ways to play this deck. That's why it's so powerful. So I just want you folks to know that what I'm doing is something that I found preference to, and I'm just going to show you that. So there's so many ways that you can build this deck, but for me personally right now, I'm going to leave Oricorio out. I'm going to only focus on the removals for now, by the way, and we'll do every edition after that. They do get a lot of things right in this deck, I'm not going to lie. We are going to keep the 4 Battle VIP, incredible card. We are going to keep the 4 Chromatic, also incredible. It synchronizes very nice with the Battle VIP. 2 Escape Rope, that looks good. Now, Fog Crystal, here's where we're getting into some of the older cards. We are not going to be playing any Fog Crystal whatsoever. And the main reason why Fog Crystal was used initially is because we didn't have Ultra Ball in the format. So people were using Fog Crystal to find the Psychic Energy, as well as a Pokemon. There's another reason why we don't use Fog Crystal anymore either, is because a lot of decks currently favor playing more double turbo and not as much psychic, if any psychic energy. So with the inclusion of less psychic energy and more double turbo and energy card in addition to the Fusion Strike that you can't search out with this card, it's just become less usable. You also can't use this to find an evolution Pokemon. It has to be basic. So when Ultra Ball came out, it just ended up being a better fit in this deck. So 4 Fog Crystal, gotta go. 4 Power Tablet, excellent. 2 Switch cards, standard. 4 Ultra Ball, very good. 2 Old Cemetery. Now this is another older card. Older tech. We're just not using this anymore. A lot of decks these days will favor either Training Court, Rose Tower, or some other funky type of stadium. You can play Old Cemetery, it's just not the best at the moment, I would say. 4 Boss's Orders, a little heavy. We're gonna move it down to 3. Same with the Alessa Sparkle. 4 is a little heavy. Let's move it down to 3. Same with the Choice Belt, from 3 to 2. 3 double turbo energy, they got that perfect. 4 Fusion Strike energy, absolutely. We would put as many in here as the game would allow us, and unfortunately it's only 4. And now back to what I was saying before, we do not play any basic energy. This is a no basic energy build, so something like Temple of Sinnoh is really out there to potentially harm us. So let's exit this view and go into the Pokemon so we can actually start adding some cards back into the deck. So first and foremost, we're gonna need another Mew VMAX. Let's get that healthy 4-3 line going. I mean, I should probably add the here, I can actually just click these because I actually have these, but I don't have duplicates of these, so we have to get a third type in here. Add in a third Mew VMAX. We have 4-3 now of Mew VMAX. Oh yeah, let's get the 4th Genesect in there as well. You're gonna need those. And then finally, the tech card, the tech inclusion. We're gonna need a Pumpkaboo. This deck just gets shut down by Path of the Peak so unbelievably hard. So if you can have a ball search to relieve yourself from Path of the Peak, Pumpkaboo is an extremely nice card. So yeah, 14 Pokemon, that's all we're gonna run. Okay, one big card we have to get in this deck right now is the Echoing Horn. This card is extremely valuable when you're trying to get some late game 2 prize knockouts. Say your opponent benched a Crobat V, you boss it up, knock it out, and then you only need 2 more prizes, but they have like a huge VMAX out there, a huge V-Star with a big charm, something like that. Echoing Horn brings the weaker Pokemon V from the discard back to their bench. You can boss it up again, basically get 4 easy prize cards off of just 1 Crobat or something like that. So Echoing Horn is extremely valuable in this deck. Now there's a lot of what I like to call item deck draw type of search cards. You know, you have Rotom Phone, you have Switching Cups, you have Trekking Shoes. There's a bunch of things that you can use to kind of like churn through your deck. We're gonna settle on Rotom Phone, and we're gonna put 4 copies in the deck. The reason why we go with Rotom Phone is it's just the most versatile. It gives us the most options. You get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You put 1 on the top directly with the amount of Genesect that we play. It just helps us search for something specifically more frequently. Trust me, when you're playing these Genesects, you can easily click the Fusion Strike system and get more cards, and just still not end up with what you need. But having 4 copies of Rotom Phone in the deck really helps you get what you need more frequently when you need it, helping the deck run just more consistently. And then we just need our stadium. We're gonna go with Rose Tower, get 2 copies of that in there. And we're only playing 2 copies because of the Pumpkaboo. So we can bump a stadium when we need to by virtue of having the Pumpkaboo. The only time that the Pumpkaboo in this build comes back to bite us is on the unfortunate times when you start with that Pumpkaboo as your only basic Pokemon in your starting hand and you have to start it, and then you cannot utilize that effect later on in the game. But that's just the risk that we've run with this build. I'm looking now and I'm like, 56 cards, why are we not there yet? The default League Battle deck does not give you the biggest staple in, I would say, 95% of decks today. Quick Ball, we gotta get 4 of those in there. And then once we get those 4 in there, we are complete. Okay, so let's get an overview now of what we got here. So for the final rundown, we've got 4 Genesect, 2 Meloetta, 4 Mew V, 3 Mew VMAX, 1 Pumpkaboo, 4 Battle VIP, 4 Chromatic, 1 Echoing Horn, 2 Escape Rope, 4 Power Tablets, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Rotom Phone, 2 Switch, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Rose Tower, 3 Boss, 3 Alessa Sparkle, 2 Choice Belt, and then we got 4 in the Double Turbo Fusion Strike Energy. So this is a great list. This list was actually, it's not my list. This is not actually how I played the deck directly. This list is from, I'm just gonna use this eBay image here because someone's selling the PTCGO version of it. This is the top 8 deck for the World Championship that just occurred. And if you didn't watch the World Championship top 8, you can see just that, and it was a really awesome performance by everyone in there. So I would recommend going to see that if you're into the TCG. But this deck right here was in the top 8, and it was a few Chromatic coin flips away from winning its top 8 match, and who knows, it could have been the World Championship deck list. So that's just how Pokemon Pokemon RNG card games go. You know, when you have coin flips and you this and that and draws and who knows what type of luck can go on, you know, that can be the difference between a deck being the absolute champion or not. And this deck did make top 8. So I didn't build this. I was only going off of what an Andre, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name because I do not want to butcher it, but they played so well and it was a very awesome game to watch. So go check that out. I know after making this video today that I personally am very excited to actually test this deck out because I still do like playing Mew and I think it's really cool and very fun. So hopefully you guys do too and want to play it as well. So when this League Battle deck comes out, it'll be very easy to get these cards now. If you folks haven't already, you still got a few days left to enter Free Card Giveaway 22, and our September Discord is going on. We're currently giving away 27 booster packs between the two. And then as soon as Free Card Giveaway 22 is over, I'm already thinking on what we're going to do for Free Card Giveaway 23. We have an entire booster box of Lost Origin on the way just to give away, and that video will be up very shortly after. Now, real quick, there's one card and one reason that you may not want to focus on this deck, and I just feel like I need to show you that right now. So Lost Origin has a Drapion V coming out, and it's Darkness type, which is weak, which is what Psychic's main weakness is. I think sometimes Psychic may be weak to other things. I kind of forget, especially because in the TCG, Psychic can represent Fairy type, which has a weakness to Metal. So sometimes I think you will see Psychic with a Metal weakness, but usually Psychic Pokemon, and Mew is definitely one of them, has a Darkness weakness. So this Drapion V coming out is going to be potentially a game changer slash game ender for Mew VMAX because of this ability that it has here. 210 HP, but this ability, Wild Style. This Pokemon's attack costs 1 colorless energy less for each of your opponent's Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and Fusion Strike Pokemon in play, and the attack is 4 colorless energy, Dynamic Tail 190. If you multiply that by 2 for weakness, and that's going to knock out Mew V all day. Doesn't matter if you have Oricorio and a Big Charm, you are not going to survive that. So that can be an issue. All you need to really do is include one of these in your deck, and then you have a nice counter to Mew VMAX. So I'm not sure how impactful this is going to be. It's going to usually be a one-off. So as soon as I thought of that, my next thought was we're also getting the Lost City, which is nice because whenever a Pokemon, either yours or your opponent's, is knocked out, you put that Pokemon in the Lost Zone instead of the discard pile. So as a Mew V, you could play this and toss that down, knock out the Drapion, and then not have to worry about it for the rest of the game. But even then, they could still have already taken prizes with it. So I don't know. It may be very impactful, or it may end up not being that big of a deal. I'm not 100% sure. We could only have to wait and see. But I just wanted to mention that right now because if you are looking to get into competitive, I would feel really bad if you watch my channel and you see that I'm talking about how to get this deck really good and it's almost one world. But we have this next format coming out. We're right now in the Astral Radiance format, and Lost Origin is going to come out. And once that next set comes out, the meta always changes. So just be aware of that and know that there are cards coming that can very easily counter Mew VMAX. But if you just want to play with your friends, and if you just want to have fun and or learn the game and just learn a really strong deck, and you don't know, no one knows how strong this deck's going to be on the next set, the set after that, and the set after that. And it's going to be in rotation for at least another year plus. So Mew VMAX ain't going nowhere. And with this box coming out, I think it's a great time to get in on it, especially if you're newer to the game. Trying to get into competitive, it's a nice way to just learn what a competitive deck looks like, how it works, how much damage it can do. Like, you can really rack up some damage with Mew VMAX. It can hit for, I want to say if you got all the power-ups in play, it can hit for 430 with all the damage modifiers. So hitting for 430 is just insane. It's just absolutely bonkers to think about. If you like this kind of thing, please consider sharing it with a friend who may also be newer to the game or someone who you think may enjoy the game. You know, we're just trying to grow the game. It doesn't really have that many players, and honestly, I think it should. It's pretty easy to pick up, super fun, and just a nice casual way to spend your nights. I mean, I like playing online games. I like just to be competitive, but I don't always want to play something that's like super sweaty, and Pokemon is definitely a nice, you know, relaxing way to just play a card game. It was only a year ago I didn't even play the game. I actually like just started getting back into the TCG. I mean, I've been a Pokemon fan my whole life, but I definitely didn't collect the cards and never played the game really my whole life. The most experience I had playing the game as a kid was off the Game Boy game that allowed you to play the TCG through like gym leaders. It was actually a very cool game, but it's only been, you know, 8-9 months now that I've been playing actually standard rotation. So it's not that hard. It's very fun, and I would definitely recommend it for everybody. Anyone that can read, honestly, can play this game. If you're done watching all of the other videos on my channel and you need some more Pokemon content, consider checking out our Poke Friends listed here. KittenCatAubrey and KittenCatAubreySales on TCGPlayer. They've got an awesome TCG shop. Go check them out. Tim and Nathan at Pokemon Father and Son. Ozzy at Oscorp. Arya and the whole family at Arya Quinn Plays. Eric the Epic. Amy on Go with Amy and Chloe on. EML Collectibles. And The Real Venusaur. Thank you for watching. Love you all, as always. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.